Okay, and as I said in the last couple days, obviously write fast. Okay, when we do number 3, okay, I'm solving for r, so this 17 needs moved. Right now it says r divided by 17, so we're gonna times by 17 on both sides. Right, and that one you can type in on your calculator. Okay, when you do type it in, you're gonna be left with r is 10. Okay, number 5. We need to times by 25 on both sides first. So we're going to say times 25 times 25. Okay, so I have n minus 6 equals negative 25. Okay, and then we're going to add 6 to both sides. Okay, and what is negative 25 plus 6? Somebody? Negative 19. Okay, so we're going to say plus 6, and n is negative 19. Okay, the same as yesterday. We're only going to do half today, so somewhere around half. Okay, 7, again, same thing. I'm going to multiply both sides by 14 first. Okay, so I got p plus 3, and that gives me a negative 14. Okay, and then I'm subtract 3 on both sides. And I got p is negative 17. Okay, number 9, what needs done first? Combine. Okay, so 8 minus 4. Okay, 8 minus 4 is 4n equals 4. Okay, and then what needs done? Divide. I'm going to get n equals 1. Okay, 11. What needs done first on number 11? Distribute. Okay, so 6 times negative 2 is going to be negative 12a. 6 times 6 is going to be 36 equals 96. Okay, and then what needs done? Who's the third wheel? The 36. So we're going to say minus 36 minus 36. I get negative 12a equals, I don't know, 60? I don't know what that is. What is 96 minus 36? 50? 60? 60? Okay, and then I'm going to divide by negative 12. Okay, and what is 60 divided by negative 12? Negative 5? I thought so, but I wasn't entirely sure. Okay, 13. Okay, you can split this up into 2 sections, the left side of the equal sign and the right side of the equal sign. Okay, so I like to draw a line down here. Okay, if I look at the left side, okay, it has 1 letter and 1 number. Okay, so there's really nothing to combine on that side. However, on this side, I can combine some stuff. Okay, so the 6 and the 1 is going to give me a 7, and a negative 4 and 3 is going to give me a negative 1n. Okay, and so this is what we're working with. Okay, and if you remember, where do letters go? Letters go to the left, numbers go to the right. Okay, so this one has to get moved over here, and this one needs to get moved over here. Okay, and realistically, you should have 2 big X's on both sides where something cancels out. Okay, so 1 plus 1n is going to be 2n, and 7 plus 1 is going to be 8. Okay, and then I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides, and that's going to be n equals 4. Okay, 15. Again, we need to distribute first. Okay, so I'm gonna get a negative 32 plus 4a, nothing's changed over there. And on this side, 5 times 6 is gonna be 30a, and 5 times 4 is gonna be 20. And again, our letters are gonna go to the left, the numbers are gonna go to the right, okay? So, this guy, he needs moved over here. And they're gonna cancel, and the 32 needs moved over here. Okay, and 4 plus a negative 30 is gonna be negative 26a. And then I'm gonna get a 52 on this side. Okay, and then I'm gonna divide by 26, a negative 26 on both sides. And that's gonna give me a negative 2. Okay, what do the bars mean? We talked about it yesterday. What do the bars mean? How many answers should you have? Two. Okay, so bars mean 2 answers. So as long as there's nothing on the outside of the absolute value, okay, then your first step can be comma and make it a negative, whatever that number is on the other side of the equal sign. Okay, if there is stuff, then you need to move that stuff first. Okay, and so now that we said comma, make it a negative, we can divide all of these pieces by negative 7. Okay, so I'm gonna get P equals negative 7 and 7 for my answers. Okay, 19, there's nothing on the outside of the bar, so we can say comma and make it a negative 2. Okay, and then I'm gonna add 5 to all these pieces. Okay, so I'm gonna get 3a equals 7 and a 3. Okay, and then I'm going to divide all of these pieces by 3. Okay, and 7 over 3, 7 divided by 3, is this going to be 7 over 3? I'm going to be honest, I don't know whether the test is going to be in decimal or fraction form, so if it is decimal form, okay, you can just type in 7 divided by 3 on your calculator and hit that SD button, and it'll transfer it to a decimal for you, okay? So just be aware of that. I'm not 100% sure. To be honest, I haven't even finished making the Algebra 1 final for all of the math department. So that'll get done this weekend. Okay, 21. There is stuff on the outside of the bar, so we need to do that first before I can say comma and make it a negative. So our first step is going to be times 6 times 6. Okay, so I got the absolute value of negative 2x equals 6. Okay, now that there's nothing on the outside of the bars, I can go ahead and say comma and make it a negative 6. Okay, and then working with this, we can say divide by negative 2. So I get x equals negative 3 and a positive 3. Okay, 23. Again, there is stuff on the outside of the bar, so that needs to move first. So our first step is going to be to divide by negative 4. Okay, so I'm going to get the absolute value of 9a minus 7 equals 25. Okay, so now that the bars are by themselves, we can say comma, negative 25. Okay, and I can say, huh?
Why do we divide with -4?
Because, so when it's next to something, it always means times.
Oh, and yeah, we have to do the opposite.
Yep.
Alright.
Okay, so we're gonna say plus 7, 25 is 32. It's 20, 19, 18, negative 18. Somebody better check my math on those. I don't know. I don't trust it. Is that right? Was 25 plus 7? 32?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, and then we're gonna divide all these pieces by 9. So I get A equals, is 32 over 9? See if that simplifies. What is 32 divided by 9? What does that say? It still says 32 over 9? Okay.
We can't divide 32 by 9.
And then you're gonna get a negative 2.
Do we get to use a calculator when you find them?
Yes, you will. Speaking of it, I'm glad that you said that. Can you guys look through your lockers, your book bags? If you have one of my calculators, which is fine, no big deal, people borrow them. Okay, please bring them back so that way there's enough for everybody. Okay? If not, I can tell you this, it's first come, first served. Okay, that's all the calculators I have. When someone finishes, then you can do all the ones you can do without a calculator. Okay, but I don't know that there's necessarily enough over there. I need to count them, but if you have any, will you please bring them back? Okay, 25, it says solving proportions. This is where we're just gonna cross multiply and divide. Okay, so it's kind of like that little butterfly method that you've seen, huh? Yeah. Okay, so 10 times 7 is gonna be 70. 3 times x is 3x. Yeah. Okay, and then we're gonna divide by 3. Okay, and somebody's gonna have to do this. What is 70 divided by 3?
Can't. It's going to be decimal, so we just keep it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Be like 20.3 repeating.
Okay, 27, we got 5 times 2 is gonna be 10. Okay, when we do the other side, it's really 9 times, you're distributing. So 9 times n is 9n, and 9 times 1 is 9. Okay? And then if we're looking at that, I'm solving for n, so I'm gonna say minus n, or minus 9 on both sides. Okay, so I'm gonna get 1 equals 9n. And then I'm gonna divide by 9. Okay, and so I get n equals 1 over 9. Okay, solve each equation for the indicated variable. So on this one, we're solving for a, okay? So we want to move anything that is by a away from a, okay? I don't particularly love this one because it does say negative a, so there's an additional step. Okay, and so I'm going to change this because I would never put one on your final like this. We're going to say m plus a. Okay, so make that a plus instead of a minus. Okay, however, because there was a minus there, then your last step, you would have that additional step of dividing everything by negative 1. Okay, so on this one, in order for us to get everything away from a, I'm going to say minus m minus m. Okay, so over here, I'm going to get z minus m equals a. And we can see that a is by itself, so this one is complete. Okay, that's all I'm trying to do is get it by itself.
Miss Henning, do you think we're gonna finish this today?
No,
No?
we're going to do half, just like we did yesterday, and then
Okay.
we'll finish the other half on Friday.
How many of these questions are on this paper?
98.
98.
90. Is that going to be similar to how many will be on the final?
It'll be somewhere around 60, I would say.
Okay, and we have all 3 today to finish the final, or is there only one?
You have 1 day, 1 period for 60 minutes. Okay, okay, so this one, again, I am gonna edit this one a little bit, put C plus A. Okay, change that to a plus, C plus A. Okay, so again, on this one, I'm solving for A, so I'm gonna say minus C, minus C. Okay, so I have A equals, and it's just gonna be D minus R minus C. Okay, we just put it all as 1.
Okay, so we'll be doing 49 questions today, correct?
I know.
Or is it-
Yeah. Okay, 33, each table represents a relation, determine the domain and range and if it is a function, okay? The domain covers the x's, okay? So we're gonna say -2, comma, I cannot repeat, so I'm not gonna put the other -2 on there. 1, 3, and 4. The range is gonna be 1, 5, -5, 3, and 0. Okay, how do we tell if it's a function or not? If the x's repeat, then is it a function or no?
No.
No, okay, so the x's do repeat on this one, so this one is gonna be a no, okay? This is not allowed, okay, we can only have 1, okay? And so that makes it a no. If they're all different, then it's a yes, okay? 35 is the same type of question, except for, they're just in a different order, okay? So the domain is gonna be -6, -6 again, so we're not gonna put, and because those are both -6, -6, I can already answer right now and say no, okay? -4, 3, and a 6. Okay, for the range, I got -3, 4, 3, 1, and a -4. Okay, so all the second pieces of those. Okay, and again, some of these, you could say black pieces, okay, they repeated, so my answer is gonna be a no.
So what if the range has the same number?
Then it doesn't matter. But don't write it twice.
No, I'm saying, what if it had it twice? Would it still be enough?
It would be a yes then, as
Oh,
long as the
yeah.
X is. Yeah, so the X's is the only thing that dictates our yes or no. But the range, you can't write like 2 and then comma 2. We just write it one time.
Yeah, I'm saying, but would it still be, so it would be yes?
It would be a yes if all the X's are not the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll get you now.
Okay, 37. Again, the domain and range. The domain is gonna be -4, -1, 6, and 7. The range is gonna be all of these, so -4, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Okay, how do we tell on this one if it's a function? Okay, if from the domain or from the x's, if it has 2 arrows coming off the same one. So we can see that like this has 2 arrows, so it's gonna be a no. Okay, 39, represent the domain and range, okay? So for the domain, that's all of the x's. So we're gonna use this line, and any dots, I gotta look up and down to see if there's any dots there. So I can see on 8, there's no dots when I go up and down. 7, there's no dots. 6, there's no dots. Okay, and we kind of could just keep doing that. I don't have to draw, but when I get here, there is a dot, and that's gonna be at 1. Okay, when I get over here, there is dots, and that's at -1. And notice how that has 2 dots when I start going down? That means it's gonna be a no. Okay, so this one's gonna be a no because those are x's and they repeat. Okay, I have some dots at -2, and I have some dots at -6. For the range, we go the other way, okay? We go sideways. Okay, and I start going down the Y line, and I can see here at 3, I have some dots. At -3, at -5, at 6, and at -7, at -6, -7. Okay, so we're kind of just tracking where these are and writing those down. Okay, determine if this is a function or not on the next one. How can you tell? Is it a function? Is 41 a function? No. Okay, so any closed shapes, anything that's sideways, okay, because it's going to hit here and here at the same time, okay, that means it's not a function. Okay, if I were to draw a straight line anywhere on this graph, okay, I can see that it's touching here and here, which are x values. So this is going to be a no. Okay, 43. I'm just gonna plug in everywhere there's an x, I'm plugging in -5. Okay, so really there should be a -5 put here and a -5 put here. Okay, so it's gonna look like f of -5 equals 2 times -5 plus 3. Okay, and so this part, you just type in your calculator. And you should get a -7. And we're going to do a couple more. And we'll be done. Okay, sketch the graph, okay, for the x and y intercepts. The x, you're going to go to the x line and find the 3 and put your dot. And the y intercepts, you're going to go to the y line and find the -4 and put your dot. Okay, 47, they want you to do your slope. We count from the lowest dot up to the highest dot. Okay, so how much do you go up and how much do you have to go over?
You go 5 over.
How much up? We gotta do that up first, huh?
8.5.
8.5? Okay, so we're gonna go up 8 and go over 5. Is that a positive or a negative line?
Negative. Right?
That is a positive line.
Oh.
Okay, so it's gonna be 8 over 5. Okay, find the slope of the line through each pair of points. Okay, so the formula, and I'm not gonna write it down, but that's that y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so I got x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so it's gonna be -7 minus -5 over x2 is -12 minus 12. Okay? And you guys check that in your calculator, see what you get. We'll do it faster than I can do it.
-2 over -24.
Use your calculator.
Huh?
Use your calculator. Over 17. There's no way.
Still -2 over 25.
-2
Or
over
negative,
20.
yeah, -24, sorry. -2 over -24.
It's not
I got 1 over 12.
1 over 12.
Oh,
I know, you always do. That's why I'm telling you, you need to use a calculator. You always do. You're going to get it wrong. We're going to do 2 more. Okay, these ones are fast. So these go in the form of y equals mx plus b. The m is whatever is by the x. Okay, so what number is right next to the x? -2. So my m, or my slope, okay, is going to be -2. There is no b, so this would be the b on this one. This one doesn't have one, which means that the b, or the y-intercept, is 0. Okay, because there's not one there, it's a 0. Okay, for the next one, it's the exact same thing, we're just writing the equation instead, okay? So they gave us our M, they gave us our B, they want you to write it like this. Okay, so it's gonna look like y equals, what is my M? What's my slope? Negative 10 over 3. X plus my B is 5. Okay, we're gonna stop here today.